This is going to be a makeup video for yesterday, where I missed yesterday and I couldn't do it. I've already shaved today, but this is going to be a practice run so I can get used to doing some different things, trying some different things on my neck. And I'm going to be using the palm olive today, which surprisingly works very well for what it is. I might try face lathering it this time, I don't know. It comes in this tube, and it smells like, well, palm olive. I mean, you can't really beat that, I guess. Let's see here. Damn flies. I'll use my bigger brush today. Go with some cold water. Smear it down in the bowl. Wash off the excess off my fingers. And get the syrup going. Get this going in here. Kind of a greenish color a little bit. I have a hard time making a lather with this anymore. Here we go. I think that's going to do it. I have a hard time making leather. Sorry, my dad is talking very loud out there and I'm trying to get him to be quiet. Let's see here. It's getting there, slowly but surely. I don't know why I have such a hard time with lathers. I shouldn't, but I do. It's not quite where I want it yet, so add some more water. Let's see here. My brother moved back in, by the way. Did I use cold water? Yes, I did. I need to get a better bowl, I think. I think it could be this bowl that makes it hard for me to get a good lather. Either that or it's the brush itself absorbing all the lather. What do you do in that case when the brush absorbs all the lather? How do you get more of it out of the lather? More of the lather out of the brush without having to squeeze your hand into it? A little bit of pressure, not too much. Add a little bit more water to this. I reckon with a timeless bowl it doesn't matter which direction you go in. I don't know though. I need a wider bowl. Or a smaller brush. A better brush. It's smaller. Almost there. I guess it's not too bad. I need to add a little bit more water to it. Starting to get a sheen to it. Maybe add just a little bit more. Then they're talking about phones right now. A little bit more. That should be quite enough right there. Yeah, I think that's enough. It's all shiny now. There we go. Soft peaks. I think that's right. My razors are plenty sharp, by the way, so I don't got to worry about them not cutting, because I know that they do. I'm going to go with this one today. This one's got a slight smile to it. It doesn't really matter because I'm not really going to be doing much cutting. I would like to go through in each one and try and figure out the angles and stuff. So now what do I want to use as a crease shade? You know what? I'm not going to use a crease shade. I want to see what this does on its own merits. Out. See, nice and creamy. Nice, creamy lather. Maybe a little bit too creamy. Maybe I added a little bit too much water, but who knows? Who cares? I don't. Water is water, and cream is cream. If it works, it works. Doesn't, it doesn't. Let's give this a shot. Let me strop this a couple times first. Also, this is how I strop. I don't know if you can see my strop here. What I like to do is I like to take it, go lift it off a little bit. Sometimes I just go. But I find that leaving it on there kind of dulls it, cuts the strap a little bit. I like to use a little bit of a narrower angle. Should use some kind. I guess this is not the most slick. I might use some in my next pass. Might just do one pass, who knows. Have you ever had palm olive? Have you ever used it? If you do, if you have, how do you like it? Do you like it? Does it work well for you? There we go. Always good to practice. There we go. I'm sure you can hear it cutting a little bit because I can hear it cutting. You always want to use just a little tiny amount of pressure and usually smaller strokes. Just the smallest amount of pressure. And you like to go across the grain first, but I can't go this way on my neck with the straight razor, so I go down again across the grain. Use the least amount of pressure you can. And use only a little bit of the blade if possible. It's what I'm learning anyways. How was y'all's week? I know this video is a day late, but I figured I would go ahead and do it today. Sometimes I do it like this. How was y'all's day? How was y'all's day? What are y'all doing today? How was work? Have a good shave? Now that I've done that without any pre-shave, I'm going to add a pre-shave to my face to see if it does any better. I think I'm going to go with the cube this time. Not much residual sickness, but maybe I added too much water. So I'm going to use the cube. I've only got a little bit of it left. I've been using it pretty well. Sorry. Let's see here. Feels good too, sometimes. It's hard to hold on to. Let's try it with this now. Usually they say to wash your face with it first, but I usually don't. Because I find that the oils in your face, while they can hinder the shaving process, I do find it sometimes easier to shave with a little bit of oil on your face. This might be a little bit too thin, I think. Next time I'll have to use less water. Just a little bit too thin. There we go. Get it pasted on right there. And let's get back to shade to number 2. Let's see here. Sometimes people like going like this to get their cheek. I usually go like this to get the upper part. Glide, much better. Much better. And then on this part, what I usually like to do is go down like this, and then go follow it along jawline on this side, because that's what works. Follow it along the jawline there. Try not to cut yourself when you're doing this. Sometimes I like to pull up and do it like this. Sorry, I had some about to drip off on my shirt. Go like this. Pull it up, flatten the blade out a little bit. I don't do that for both sides because it doesn't really work on both sides. It only works on this side here. And then I go up. Small amounts of the blade and go up. You try to use small amounts of the blade. And go up. And go against the grain here. Well, this isn't quite against the grain on my neck. This is across the grain on the front of my throat here. Against the grain is this direction on my throat. So, and then I don't usually do this pass with my left hand because it's hard. And you always want to use as little pressure as it takes, and as few strokes as it takes to get a clean shave, as I am understanding it. If it takes 1 or 2 strokes, that's fine. If it takes any more than like 5 or 6 to get a good shave, to get a good clean, you might want to consider re-honing your razor, especially if it starts to pull. On this side, I like to go like this. Go up in this direction. Go up in this direction here. Try to be very gentle. And then I go this way. And then right here, you want to pay extra attention to if your hair goes this way or in this direction. You want to pay special attention to right here, because sometimes it'll feel clean, and then when you rinse your soap off, it won't be. You're supposed to go for socially acceptable, but for me, socially acceptable is baby butt smooth. That's how I have to have it because I'm a perfectionist. If I don't get it like that, it really bothers me. What aftershave would you pair with the Palmolive? I have, just for future reference, I have This is more of a cologne than an aftershave, so I might use that later. I've got Stetson Cooling Moisture. I've got the Campagna with menthol. I've got the Campagna Aftershave Balm. And I've got Clubman Pinard Old Spice, the Bay Rum. And I've got the Clubman Pinard Classic. In the comments below, tell me which one you would pair with this if you've ever smelled this soap. It smells just like their bar soap does. Move my neck off a little bit. It's got some slickness right here, but not so much on my cheek. Residual slickness I'm talking about. And I'm going to take my razor, pull it off right there, and then I'm going to take it back to the strop for a couple passes. Ten passes on it. See, still a little bit too moist. This is my third pass, I believe. Yep. Still a little bit too wet. Next time I'll add less water or use less water on the brush. Because I've noticed if you leave the brush in the soap and you have water in the brush, it'll leak into the soap and make it hard to use. So, if it's possible, in my experience, it's best to leave the brush outside of the soap in like a container or something that can drip, so you don't really and then this way, so you don't really get it in there. What I do here is I like to go like this, start at the bottom down here sometimes, and I go straight up. Well, no, I don't do that. That's different. Never mind. I start at the top here and I go very gently go up. You don't have to use much pressure at all. I know it's kind of sticking right now, but that's because either my edge is bad, which I'm fairly new at putting edges on these things, or my angle is bad. But I'm still getting a decent cut. Decent cut here. Need to do a little bit more here. Whoever says you don't need to stretch your skin on your cheeks doesn't know what they're talking about. At least in my opinion, because I need to do that to get a good clean shave. If I don't, I get a lot of stubble left over. Some people, I don't know, I guess your mileage may vary. Usually I'll go do a second across against the grain because my grain goes this way on my neck. Sometimes I'll do a second one there. Other times I'll just do this. Always remember to use, and I'm still struggling with it, use less light pressure. I don't know how many times I can say that. Only a light amount of pressure, if any, and small amounts of the blade when going against the grain. And have your blade flat. As flat as possible against the skin. I have a really thick beard on my neck, so sometimes it takes a couple of tries to get a good job done on it. And here, you want to kind of just do a windshield wiper movement, or whatever you want to call it, sweeping movement, whatever. Down here, on the bottom, if I can't get it on the top way like that, what I do is I'll take my razor and I'll go get it all straight here. Try to get it straight as possible if I can, and then go bring my head back as far as I can get it and go like this. So I don't know how any other way to get to the bottom here. I've tried the way that Eric shows me, and it works, but I just can't seem to get my head right in the right position most of the time to do it and get it to work. Because I know you got to have your head in a certain position to be able to do it and get it to work. Then on these parts, because it goes downward like here, I like to go like this. Usually using my other hand, but I don't need to do that today because, like I said, I've already shaved. This is just for instructional purpose and whatever. And then here I like to go take it and go right here and go, or right here like this and go. Move this out and go. Sweeping motion, little to no pressure. That should take care of that. Right there. On this side it's the same deal. I take it and go like this, just a little bit of the blade as possible. Go up here. Now if you see I got my jaw down, that stretches it. Now I do the same thing on the other side. Take it and go. And this is one of my favorites. Before I didn't really care for it so much because it took a lot of work to get to work. Then I take it and go like this on this side. Maybe Eric can do a better video showing the angle of how this face, the head and the face should be, because I have a hard time with this. Whoops. Don't want no dirty cream on there, or soap, whatever you want to call it. I think one of the secrets is to have your head like this, because I just can't seem to do it on my right side. I just can't seem to get it. Stretch. Do some sweeping motions. Make sure you're gentle here or you get a lot of razor burn. Like that. Then what I like to do, like on the other side, this is just how I'm doing it. It's kind of a chat and an explanation, and I like to go like this. My head up, go. I'm sure there's an easier way to do this, but I haven't figured it out yet, because it grows in this direction here too. And then I'll usually either do another crossways pass on my neck right here, or I'll go up. It really depends on what I feel like that day. Now, usually with here, I'll take my safety razor, because it's harder to do it with a straight razor. I'll take my safety razor and trim this up like this. Give a couple passes on both sides. Sometimes I'll go against the grain there. Sometimes I won't. Rinse it out. Put it up. Rinse this off. Set it out to dry. And rinse my face off. Rinse the face off. Try to get the rest of that off there. Wipe my face again. A little bit. Grab my alum block, if I can find it. The thing likes to disappear on me. Ah, here it is. Alum block. The alum block wet. Rub it over my face to see if what kind of feedback I get. Not too bad, so I've done a good job. I'll dry the alum block off. And while I'm waiting for it to do its job, I'll dry the alum block off. My towel. This is just my cleanup process. Just in case you all want any ideas on how to do this, I'm just giving you my shot here. Put it back in the box. One alum block like this could potentially last you years. At least for me anyways, it could potentially last years. I'm not saying it will, put my cream up. I palm olive up, which is decent. It's not quite... It's got good slickness for what it is. Trust me, I'm surprised. Wash my bowl out, wash my brush out. Make sure I get all the soap out of my brush. As much as I can anyways. Squeeze it out. Rub it around in my palm a little bit. Take my brush here and I guess you could call it stropping. Strop the bristles on the towel to get it to dry off like this. Just a second. Then you dry these out here like this. Sorry, my dad called me for something. And then, after I'm done with all that, take some water, splash it on my face, get rid of the excess alum. Dry my face off again. This is my cleanup process. I just want to show you step by step, what I do. I don't usually get to do that very often. I haven't done that yet, I don't think. And then, I think this time I will go with the Campagna. I think it would be a good scent to go with it. What I'll do is I'll take and watch. 1, 2, 3, 4. Four splashes in my hand. Rub my hands together and then go rub it in, because it says splash on, but I find rubbing it in first and then splashing is better. This has got a nice, fresh, lemony scent to it, citrus bergamot scent. Then I'll take and wash my hands off to get the excess off my hands, and use whatever bar of soap I've got here. Wash the excess off my hands, so I'm not tasting if I eaten something. Put the lid back on this. Usually I put the lid back on it right off the bat. Dry my hands off. Hang my towel back up. Put my thing back in here, my aftershave in the flask, and then I call it done. Well, I know this video is a day late, but thank you for watching. If you like this video, please hit the like button. If you really like this video, please subscribe so you'll see more videos from me, and hit the bell button next to the subscribe button to stay updated. May have a wonderful day. Peace be upon you. Great shave.